Victory Studios in downtown Little Rock, this is Capitol View.
And good Sunday morning to you. Welcome into Capitol View. I'm Jay Bir. A crowded field, more crowded now, as Dr. Anthony Bland announced his candidacy for the Democratic Party nomination for governor. Say that 3 times fast. But he's here now with us here. And, you know, boss, you've tried this before. You ran for lieutenant governor back in 2018. Now you're going for the big job here. You know, I guess, what's the thought process in that?
Well, because I believe in the citizens of Arkansas. I believe in our communities. I believe that it's time for change. It's time for action. It's time for putting change to action. And in order to do that, we got to keep pressing forward. Despite of our outcomes, no matter how it may be, even though that outcome in 2018 wasn't that bad, we had 290,000 people that voted for us. So with that being said, I'm never going to give up, not even on all 290,000. I believe in them. They believed in us during that time, so I'm going to continue to fight for them, and I'm going to continue to press forward with them.
Now, we've got like I said, we've got a crowded field here now. A lot of folks, you know, kind of saying some of the same things you are. You know, we're ready for change. The state needs change. I guess with sort of an overall, you know, similar message. Now everybody's got a little bit of different twist to it here. But how do you separate yourself in what is becoming now a pretty crowded field?
Well, because I come from our lower income communities. I know what it's like to live from paycheck to paycheck. I'm a product of our local public school system from the Little Rock School District. I graduated from Jay Bir High School. I know what it's like to be in a school that they consider a failing school. Right. But yes, look at me now. I'm here. I'm excelling. I'm achieving despite of all the obstacles that were in my way. And so I want the communities in our state to know that anything is possible. If you put your mind to it, you see us achieving, you see us coming out, you see us moving forward. It's time. It's time for us to move forward. It's time to put change to action. Let's stop talking about it. Let's be about it.
Yeah, and you see him. He's here on Capitol View. So if you know, even graduating from Jay Bir, you know, you can get up here on the big stage here. Now a couple things that you're running on big time, sort of campaign points here: education and infrastructure. Let's kind of talk about those two mainly, because those are kind of the big things in the news right now.
Absolutely.
You know, what do you want to see changed in there, and how do you want to go about putting further investments into those two things?
Well, number one, we should invest in our students, in our children. In order to do that, we have to meet them where they are. Many students are placed in a classroom where there are too many students in one classroom. They're not getting that one-on-one base where that they can get that support that they need in order to achieve. And so I feel like we need to go back into making it where we can get one-on-one with our students and smaller class sizes, and actually even supporting our teachers and staff, meeting them where they need to be as far as getting a livable wage. Right now, there's so many people in our state, they're working just to pay a bill. They're not working, they're not able to get money to actually not live from paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
They're paying for rent, they're paying for lights, gas, water, or putting gas in their car, and heaven forbid if anything breaks. Insurance is an interesting other subject, but they're having to depend on the system in order to get ahead. So I am a product from those people that are fighting hard, depending on a system that is constantly failing them, and that's what makes me different. I'm not someone that I was given achievement.
Right.
I earned it.
And I guess infrastructure, and obviously, you know, the I-40 bridge, kind of the focal point of things right now, especially here in Arkansas, and some of the after effects we've seen with that. But also too, even just across the state, there's a few hundred, you know, failed bridges and things like that. I mean, obviously, here in the capital city, you kind of see a lot of the construction and things like that going on.
Absolutely.
You know, what do we want to see going forward when it comes to some of that infrastructure? And again, it also, you know, I want to note here, infrastructure also kind of goes with, you know, the ports, some of the waterways. Broadband is obviously one of those things, too. How do you want to address some of those things?
Infrastructure. We need to build where our communities are being refurbished. Many of our historical sites, many of our low-income communities, they're having to live in environments that are not even feasible to even lay your head down in. I went through so many different communities throughout the years, seeing boarded up buildings and infestation of different rodents or things of that nature.
Yeah.
And these people are having to live in that type of environment. And we, as a state, we're saying we're the natural state. Well, let's make it a healthy, safe, natural state for people to live in. Once again, let's stop talking about it and let's be about it.
And final thing here, I want to get your take on this. When it comes to the session, now they're kind of in a recess right now, but they'll be coming back to handle a few things. One of the big things they want to handle is income tax cuts. Kind of what's your stance on that, considering what the state's surplus is right now? Do you want to see those cut, or would you rather sort of keep things as they are and maybe fund more things?
Well, I would like to see that instead of taxing people more, we should actually build up opportunities within our state that could feed into the economy so that we can pay our people more. Rather than going after the tax, we should actually be looking at building up the economy, bringing in more organizations or companies that can feed into our economy. We have plenty of land and opportunity here in our state that we could build those relationships with various organizations and companies that will actually bring an economic rise in our state.
Well, there you have it. Just the tip of the iceberg there. He's Dr. Anthony Bland. He's running for the nomination for the Democratic Party for the governor of the state of Arkansas. Boss, we certainly appreciate the time, and maybe we'll get to do it again.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, and before we go, I would like to say we will appreciate your support, for you to get out and volunteer with our campaign, donate to our campaign. If you believe in what you see in the mirror, then we're the campaign to be a part of. Thank you, and God bless all of the citizens of Arkansas. And
there you have it. His mom's a big fan of the show, too, so just want to point that out here. But again, Dr. Anthony Bland, boss, we appreciate you. And when we come back, Arkansas tourism and the outdoors have come together this past week in a big way, and it's a big deal. Secretary of the Department of Parks, Heritage, and Tourism, Stacy Hurst. She's next. You're watching Capitol View on Sunday morning.
Steve's Auto Body in Searcy. Call 501-380-6345 or come by Steve's at 200 East Line Road in Searcy.
The most trusted name in auto body repair. Steve's Auto Body is always there.
Are you navigating this new sort of cancel culture world well?
I talk about anybody and everybody. I'm not going to change my show.
Suspects will do stuff just to get officers in the area.
So that they can fire at police?
Banfield, weeknights at 10/9 Central.
Log on to newsnationnow.com. Click on Channel Finder and enter your zip code to find your cable provider or streaming service that carries News Nation.
Common sense news
For common sense people. News Nation.
News Nation. News Nation.
I love shoes. You find them in the store, you know, they like call you, but they hurt. The best ones hurt the worst. And you're walking around going, I don't want anyone to know that I'm not happy. You're stuck in the arch supports, and I felt so much better. I'd say Good Feet helped with all of my great shoes. They turned out to be something that actually works for me. My name is Ava, and that's my Good Feet story.
See for yourself with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Sold it, sold it, sold it.
Attention Lake Hamilton home buyers, vacation rental owners, and investors. Luxury Lake Hamilton Home Auction, Wednesday, July 14th at 11 a.m. in Hot Springs. With an incredible move-in ready 3,800 square foot home. 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms. Large back deck with a beautiful lake view, patio with swimming pool and boat dock. Selling fully furnished on auction day. Go to WilsonAuctioneers.com.
Sold it, sold it, sold it.
Steve's Auto Body in Searcy. Call 501-380-6345 or come by Steve's at 200 East Line Road in Searcy.
The most trusted name in auto body repair. Steve's Auto Body is always there.
This is my house. My parents helped build it. Now we don't get wet when it rains. I don't get too hot or too cold inside. And I don't have to worry when the winds blow. This is my house. This is my house. This is my house. This is my house. My house. My house. I can play with my sister. I can play with my brother. I can play with my mother, my father, my family. My family. My family. This is my house. This is my house. I can study. I can be safe with my family. This is my house. This is my house. This is my house. This is my house. My house. My house.
This is my house.
Visit Habitat.org to find out how you can help more families like mine have a safe, decent place to call home.
You're watching Capitol View, Sunday morning talk focused on the political scene in Arkansas.
And welcome back into Capitol View. Tourism is one of the top industries in Arkansas, so it's normally a pretty big deal when something happens in that industry. Now, something big happened this past week, and here to help break it down is Secretary of the Department of Parks, Heritage, and Tourism. She's got 3 things she's responsible for. Stacy Hurst, and Stacy, we certainly appreciate you coming in.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
All right, let's talk about a little bit about tourism. Obviously, tourism is back in Arkansas in a big way, and some of the, even the, you get into some of the nerd numbers here, some of the tax collection even on par with pre-COVID days.
That's right. We just got our report for March collections, which is the latest that we have, and it reflected for March a 78% increase in 21 over 20, which is not that surprising, but it reflects also an almost 15% increase for that month over 19, which was pre-pandemic. And in the year of 19, we were doing very, very well as a tourism industry. So yes, at least for the month of March, it has rebounded in a big way, and we anticipate having a really strong spring into the summer.
Now, what are we seeing here? Who's making the big bounce back? Because I know, even here we've talked about, like the tourism industry, restaurants, hotels, all struggling, and now it seems like, man, we are back at it in full board.
They really are. People are coming to Arkansas for access to the outdoors, and Arkansans are traveling within the state and enjoying things like our state parks, our beautiful rivers, going fishing, going golfing, doing all sorts of things in the outdoors. So we've become a really popular destination, of course, during the pandemic. Now that we're able to travel more freely, I think people are just really eager to get out and enjoy the outdoors again. The spring is usually a busy time for us, but it's really been busy. This spring, we anticipate the summer will be very strong, and the fall is actually one of the most popular times to be in Arkansas.
And, without getting too into the weeds with the numbers, I mean, what are we seeing here, from just some comparison's sake, for people, visiting the parks, doing some of the things that are out there? Is it a big increase? What are you guys noticing?
Yeah, for state parks, we have seen just within the 6 months that we've been tracking in 21, almost a $1 million person increase in our visitation. Wow. So that's just people who are coming to the parks either for day use or overnight, and we anticipate that at the end of the full year, we will have increased by 1.5 million to 2 million visits. Wow. So our overnight statistics are very strong. We've got, our cabins are full, our campsites are very popular. We've got a little room in our lodges, but even those are full. And so, again, people are really eager, I think, to enjoy nature in Arkansas.
Yeah, people got tired of being cooped up in their houses, is basically what we're seeing here. Now, this past week, pretty big announcement. Would it be safe to say that we have a full-blown mountain chain here in Arkansas now? I mean, that's what I'm going to refer to it as.
You're talking about the Pinnacles.
Yeah, the Pinnacles,
yes.
yeah.
We have acquired Blue Mountain, which is the last of the 3 Pinnacles in central Arkansas. So Pinnacle Mountain State Park.
Right.
Everybody knows Pinnacle Mountain State Park. And then we acquired Rattlesnake Ridge, which is just to the west, which is the 2nd Pinnacle. And then the 3rd Pinnacle is Blue Mountain. And that has come into our possession through a partnership with the Nature Conservancy. 459 acres. And we will program that for public access. We'll build trails for biking and hiking, a little parking pad there, and of course we'll manage it for conservation, but there will be public access.
So kind of a Pinnacle Mountain light here, because, you know, Pinnacles, that's the big one right there, right?
Yeah, and Pinnacle sees so much visitation.
It does.
Rattlesnake Ridge has really become popular, but again, once we get too much visitation at Rattlesnake Ridge, we close the parking lot because we like to limit the access there. Now, it's open every day, of course, but we do manage that more for conservation. Pinnacle Mountain is managed for recreation, and that's all the trails there are hugely popular, of course. But both Rattlesnake Ridge and Blue Mountain have public access and hopefully provide a little relief for the visitation at Pinnacle Mountain State Park.
Now, when can we expect folks being able to get out there to Blue Mountain to kind of take it on?
Yeah, we anticipate we're going to start work right away, building trails and access, and by the fall of 22, so it'll probably take us about a year to get it ready for full public access. There's some ways to access it now, and of course people have been doing that forever and can still do it, but we're going to build a nice trail system like we have at Rattlesnake Ridge, and so it'll be very enjoyable for the public.
All right, and again, where is Blue Mountain just in relation to everything there for folks?
So there's Pinnacle Mountain State Park, then just to the west, the next ridge, the next pinnacle is Rattlesnake Ridge, and that's open to the public, and then just to the west of Rattlesnake Ridge is Blue Mountain. And you can actually see it from Highway 10. If you're traveling out toward Lake Maumelle, you can see it there. Just to your right.
There you go. All right, now we kind of broke down tourism in its whole totality here in the state, but what about specifically the outdoor tourism? You know, what kind of boon are we seeing from that, and how important is some of just, you know, nature here in the natural state to the state's economy?
It's very big. In fact, it's an estimated $9 billion impact in Arkansas in terms of outdoor recreation and the outdoor recreation industry broadly. It's a huge impact, and we see it not just in things like fishing and you know, golfing, but mountain biking now is huge. Private and aviation, backcountry aviation is a growing little hobby, and so there's all sorts of ways. I mean, we've got beautiful nature here, robust access to public land, both through our state parks, but through those natural areas that we have that are managed by Natural Heritage Commission. We've also got abundant federal lands that have public access. So in Arkansas, nature is abundant, and it's a very attractive industry as we grow our economy.
So there you go. Get outside because it helps all of us, and it also obviously would help you. Stacy Hurst with the Department of Parks, Heritage, and Tourism. Always going to make sure you get all 3 in there. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Well, when we come back, we've got more of what happened here in the state from the past week. You're watching Capitol View on Sunday morning.
Meteorologist Pat Walker, weekday mornings on KARK4 Today.
It's a difficult call to make. You're injured, it's not your fault, and you need legal help. The last thing you need is a machine or call center somewhere. At the Brad Hendricks Law Firm, there's no call center or recorded menu. When you call us, a Brad Hendricks Law Firm employee answers live, and we connect you to an attorney anytime, even nights and weekends. Our attorneys listen, and we will help you decide what to do. Call us statewide. We appreciate your time and trust, and we show it.
If you witness someone overdosing, don't run. Call 911. You won't get in trouble, and you can't be arrested for simple possession if you call 911 about an overdose. You're protected by the Arkansas Joshua Ashley Pauley 911 Good Samaritan Law. The law provides immunity from arrest, charge, and prosecution for simple possession for those who seek medical assistance for others who are overdosing. Be a Good Samaritan. Download the Arkansas app for life-saving information and resources, including how to save a life with naloxone.
Come and enjoy a new experience in shopping for your home. At Aladdin Rugs and Home Decor, we have over 5,000 rugs in the latest colors and styles. Bring your pillows, your pillow shams, and sizes. We will help you select the perfect rug. We're #1 in customer service with 15,000 square feet of rugs, unique home decor, wallpaper, and flooring. Remember, buy today, take it home today, and save. Why wait?
You're watching Capitol View, Sunday morning talk focused on the political scene in Arkansas.
Welcome back into Capitol View. President Biden strikes an infrastructure deal with a bipartisan group of senators the other day. The agreement invests mostly in traditional infrastructure projects across the country. Our Washington correspondent Jesse Tenor with the latest.
We have a deal.
A rare display of bipartisanship on the White House grounds Thursday, as Republicans and Democrats and the president agreed on a nearly $1 trillion infrastructure plan.
To put people to work all across the country.
The Senate plan provides money for everything from roads to high-speed internet to electric utilities.
There's going to be a lot of jobs that come out of this.
Louisiana Republican Bill Cassidy stressed the agreement also protects against extreme weather.
Investment and the resiliency that will be essential as we address our changing environment.
The plan's lead negotiators, Ohio Republican Rob Portman and Arizona Democrat Kirsten Sinema, were able to merge their two parties' priorities.
We didn't get everything we wanted, but we came up with a good compromise.
We all gave some to get some.
The group landed on pay-fors that include unused COVID-19 relief funds and $580 billion in new revenue from things like tax law enforcement and customs user fees.
Without raising a cent from earners below $400,000.
But the deal comes with strings attached. The president and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi say Democrats will also forge ahead with plans to pass a larger bill. It would address human infrastructure like child care and education using a procedure called reconciliation.
There ain't going to be an infrastructure bill unless we have the reconciliation bill.
That bigger bill can pass without Republican support if every Senate Democrat votes yes.
And to help with maybe your backyard infrastructure, the price of lumber down here in Arkansas, but customers aren't opening their wallets just yet after months of skyrocketing prices. Some are predicting a 40% decrease on the price tag in the month of July. Mark Sexton helps build homes and decks here in the area, and he says he hasn't seen a large uptick in business, but he's expecting it in the coming months.
I think people are kind of holding out to see if things level out, and then you'll start seeing a buying surge.
Sexton says we could see more of a downturn in the coming months, in some places maybe even by hundreds of dollars. And the Hogs hope to be bringing the wood next season, and there should be a few more folks in the stadium to actually watch. The university announced last week that Hog fans will be able to fully pack the stadium. Our Andrew Epperson looks at the potential economic and health effects.
Razorback Stadium can host 76,000 people, and there's no longer a limit on how many can come in.
We're expecting a full capacity crowd at Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium.
Razorback Athletics spokesperson Kevin Traynor says it's going to be a lot like baseball.
We've taken a measured approach, and the Razorback fans have been great. There are a lot of extra things that they have done.
Nobody's going to be forced to mask up, but
those fans that are not vaccinated will be recommended that they wear masks.
Community Clinic Chief Medical Officer Dr. Gary Berner says the COVID-19 shot's basically a Sam Pittman O-line. It'll protect you.
And it's an incredibly strong way of keeping your
Razorback fans safe, your friends and your family, and being able to keep the stadium open.
And prepping for the unexpected will keep the season from going down the drain.
We would ask that if you're unvaccinated. This is not about you. This would be about protecting those Hogs fans.
Razorback football is a big economic driver in Northwest Arkansas, but across the state.
The local business community gets a big boost from the announcement. UA economist Jeff Cooperstein says you can think of Razorback football as the star player for the Arkansas economy. It's Traylon Burks, if you will.
Football, of course, is the big dog, or the big pig, the big hog in this case.
Trainer says listening to health experts will keep the season going strong.
There may be some changes along the way. There may be some different protocols based on the latest information.
Centennial Bank Stadium also announced they'll be going full capacity next season, tailgating many of the accompanying activities. They are back for the 2021 season. Live music acts, interactive games, and additional activities to the R10's Tailgate Promenade. And once again, that will also include the Hijinks Family Fun Zone. So I will hopefully see you out there this fall. And we are back to wrap it up after this. You're watching Capitol View on Sunday morning.
We're being inundated with information like never before, good and bad. What should we care about? Well, you should care about how you're getting it, how you're taking it in. Keep in mind, if it's not a conversation, then it's a lecture. And that means you're being told what to think. That's not who we are in this country. We think for ourselves and have to take it upon ourselves to listen to that science and this science, those politicians and these politicians. And when they get it, that that's what we're doing, maybe they'll take a moment and listen to the conversations we're having.
Bob Clausen, weeknights on KARK4 News.
American Ninja Warrior, Monday on NBC.
TV's biggest little games deserve the world's biggest little host.
Whoa! It's my first season on the show. I can't have a heart attack yet.
Lil Rel hosts Small Fortune, Monday on NBC.
I tried getting glasses online. I had to wait 2 weeks, and they broke after 2 months.
At Success Vision, my glasses were only $37.
I got my eye exam next door.
The eye doctor next door is great. My glasses were ready in an hour.
They were ready in an hour, and they come with a warranty.
My 9th year with Success Vision, and I couldn't be happier.
Crazy low prices.
I couldn't be happier.
It was the most fun I ever had buying glasses.
You better for $39 in an hour for less. Come see us today, Success Vision Express.
You're watching Capitol View, Sunday morning talk focused on the political scene in Arkansas.
And that is it for this week's show. I just want to shout out Dennis Milligan. Got your pen back, my guy, so good looking out there. Special thanks to Stacy Hurst and to Dr. Anthony Bland for coming on. We are back with an all-new Capitol View next week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.